Yo, Nathan.
What up?
Crypto Not. Everyone knows. We in the house. Crypto Zombie. Chico Crypto. Crypto Not.
Alright.
We here, guys. Don't worry. It's going to be good. Mainnet PreLaunch Ontology. Let's do it.
Let's see what they get. I'm ready for it. I'm the same way. Are they doing it right now?
I don't know. Hopefully I didn't bring you guys in like an hour early. Sorry about that.
Maybe we should have waited until they
Well, Faye told us to sit down like they were doing it. Oh yeah, they're getting the cameras set up. Cameras are getting set up, everyone.
We could just waste their C100. C100 cameras. Good cameras.
What I hate about that, guys.
Live.
We are live.
What's going on, guys?
Crypto Zombie. Oh,
Ontology.
Ontology.
Mainnet
baby.
PreLaunch.
I should have got the camera with Jin Lee.
USC 100. Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Am I your voice?
No, of course not. Don't worry, man.
I'm
No.
all turned up.
I need to get my little standout I have. Somewhere in here. Smell like weed, too. Bigsby's coming up. But fuck you, Bigsby. No but.
I can't, bro. I can't.
Fucking Bigsby, dude. Bigsby's coming up. But fuck you, Bigsby.
I don't want to know what it is. Alright, try it one more time. No on the button.
Right there. No Bigsby.
I might get a little thumbnail.
Alright. How many YouTubers does it take?
7. Not enough. That's looking.
It's looking good.
Yeah, it looks good.
I need to promote this on my I wish you could see this. What I hate about live streams on
Do
your
you
mobile.
want to see if we can get right in the front and face it directly up? Let's see. Do you want to try? If we get right in the front seat and we face it right up, you'll get direct center of the video.
I'll get some spots. You want second row or first row?
First row. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, yeah, no, we
I didn't even see the names up there. I was like,
well, I ain't Dong Fei. I can pretend to be, but you okay, guys, we're gonna try to go up, but Dong Hong.
I'm down to try that.
Dong Hong Fei had it.
No, I'll be down with Fei.
Yeah. So we started a live stream and we thought they were going to go live, but then there's a little bit of other technical stuff going on. So you guys can kind of. Well, they might.
Is it worth it? I'm down with it.
I think we were okay.
You can see the saves.
You guys.
Get up front, Chico. Yo, somebody said get up front.
Dude, get up front. I know they always want me to do crazy.
Well, as soon as June Lee goes, you'll have.
I'm down.
They'll be able to see everybody speaking. So
Yeah.
I guess in the meantime, we can just like.
Yeah, no, we can talk.
Too bad you can't see what's going on.
I know.
I think if you keep it out like here. So this is counterproductive. What's everybody saying? I don't know because I can't see. So
I'm assuming. So, I wish we could see what your guys were chatting, but we can't.
We'll review it later. Wait, how does this work? I'm not even live streaming. Does it record later?
Yeah.
Or is this just live and then that's it?
No,
like Snapchat.
It's live and then it records the chat, so you can see the chat as well as live. Yeah.
First live stream ever.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't even know what that's technology. You know,
Dude,
I don't have nothing to talk about.
the mobile live streams are the worst because you can't promote them or anything. You can't put any like tags or anything.
Oh shit.
So it's more basically for your like dedicated followers who get like the notification when you go live.
So we can't reshare your video?
Yeah, you can once it's
later.
done.
Okay.
Yeah, once it's done processing.
I'm down.
Oh, yeah, reshare.
Retweet it and shit, you know?
Ooh, I have an idea. This is genius.
Let's do some cross-platform shit with YouTube.
What about?
Just don't tell the public or whoever this last stream.
Can you read it?
No, I can't. This is super Inception, though, by the
I
way.
can't read it. I can't see it. Because it would be backwards. Like, where are the YouTubers?
I'm on the history channel.
Hey, my dude, can you take a picture for us? Just,
No, we can just.
Sorry to
My
bother you
YouTubers
again.
like just hanging out.
All right, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's cool. We just. Alright. Thank you.
Yeah, no, they just like hanging out, some of them. I mean, the mobile, like, have you ever went live on mobile?
No.
It's like way different. You can't like put any tags or descriptions or
bugged a lot.
it's weird.
Not really. No. This is the first conference I've been to. So.
Oh, but I'm like admin for a couple projects.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering, maybe I could maybe keep in contact or whatever.
Of
See
course.
what you guys are up to.
Of course, yeah.
I got you, home.
See, you got the business card. I forgot mine at home again.
What is this right here?
Yo, what's up, kid? That's a chat. It pops up for a second.
No, but you said that you couldn't switch it so that people could see what we're doing.
Oh no, yeah.
So I'm multi-video. So
Yeah, so there we go.
Oh, I thought you meant like flip the camera.
No, I think everybody's bored because there's nothing going on, so we should just talk so that people are.
You're the man.
I'm just saying, like we thought that the Mainnet pre-launch was going to go, and then they were setting up with extra cameras and stuff. So I feel bad that everybody's watching right now, and there's no presentation. But there will be.
There will be, guys.
And
Hey, what's up, Denny boy?
what's up, Denny? How are you?
We're doing
Yeah,
good.
smash up those legs for Ontology, guys. Trying to be a little quiet, not shout.
I'm lit like a candlestick right now. One of my fans got me like a pen. He was like, smoke this shit, it's OG Kush. And I'm like, alright. No,
you can check out our channel.
not a good idea.
YouTube.com/crypto. And then you'll see like.
So what's everybody doing today? Ontology all day, 40% of my portfolio. Yeah, dude, legit. It's a really great project. Very, very good project. June Lee is here somewhere.
I'm excited.
That's the best way.
Talk to Jin Lee.
I do think
You need to sit down with Jin Lee.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, so
He's the man. Dude.
I haven't even looked at the markets. How are the markets?
I tried showing.
Yeah, I see. Icon's
Like crazy.
Icon's a great project. Absolutely.
You know what you're doing.
That is very.
Yeah, I'm talking to people. That's what I do. I talk to people.
I show him like the boring shit. I just have
Well, there's nothing to show. There's nothing happening right now. Okay, you guys want to see what we're looking at right now?
Just take a look and let me know what you think. Okay. So you don't
Yeah,
have
it's
to
pretty
be
boring.
committed to anything.
I see what you mean now.
Q-Link. You mean QLC chain? Let's get that right, guys. Yeah, Deep Brain is actually here. I was talking to them just before.
BBC, baby.
You guys know Captain Crypto over here?
What up, guys?
Knots, baby.
Kryptonauts. Us three should just do a video. Oh, we are.
Yeah. Like, I think it's starting soon, guys. If it starts, we're gonna switch to the stuff that we gotta do.
Yeah, this is Ontology, baby. Stay tuned. ONT. Master Trion consensus nodes are going to be discussed. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. And I don't have enough for that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthias. I'm going to be the MC today and make sure we have a great day together. So today's headline is the mainnet launch of Ontology, the pre-launch. And we're going to have some talks around that. We're also going to have an intro speak and some talks from some Ontology partners. So the launch of a mainnet is always a major milestone of any given blockchain projects. It's where they go from the testnet into deploying the mainnet. And let's just get the first speaker on. He is founder of Neo and CEO and co-founder of Onchain. Please welcome Da Humphrey.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my great honor to speak here to such a brilliant audience, to among the smartest people here in an area that many of the greatest invention of technology business happened. And this morning, the first speech of this Blockchain Connect event, the first one is from Andy Tan. He keeps asking that audience, is there any parents in the audience? And I think it's a good analogy to the pre-launch of Mainnet. So the launch of a Mainnet is like to give birth to a newborn baby. And usually it is a mixed feeling with excitedness and also nervousness. It's easy to understand. People will be very excited, and they will be very nervous. I used to be very nervous about the launch of Mainnet of Ontology, but I do have lots of periodical meetings with the technical team every few weeks, and I get very confident right now that the launch will be very successful. These days, we saw many grading reports of public blockchains, and the recurring theme of reports on Ontology is this project is too ambitious. It is uncertain whether they can deliver what they promised in their white paper. But I am in full confidence that we will deliver what we said in the white paper. And I believe the newborn baby will be healthy, spirited, and vital. We have some very novel new consensus mechanism called VBFT. It's a new kind of consensus mechanism that supports thousands of consensus nodes reaching the same states. And it will result in that we have exceptional throughput. We can achieve thousands of transactions per second, which will outperform almost all other public blockchains. And also we have a very original smart contract system. It's called Neo Contract, which is also used in Neo. And recently we set up a joint task force to unify all the interface. So if you are a new blockchain developer, you can also develop on top of Ontology. And we support different languages, including Python, C#, Go, and JavaScript to do smart contract on Ontology. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the community of Ontology and also those co-builders, including Danhua Capital, Sequoia, Matrix, PreAngel, Zenfund, and many others. Without your support, there won't be an Ontology project like today. And we have a great lineup this afternoon ahead. Li Jun will do a speech after me, and he will introduce Ontology, the project, and the future of Ontology, followed by 4 ecosystem projects. They are DAD, the Distributed Advertisement Network, and second is CarBlock. It's a blockchain-based transportation solution, and also COT, or Chain of Things, where blockchain meets IoT devices. And last but not least is Contentos. It's a blockchain-based platform for digital contents like video, audio, or pictures. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you again for coming here for this afternoon, and I wish you will enjoy this event. Thank you.
Thank you. So next up we have the main headline for today. It is the pre-launch of Ontology Mainnet. For that we have co-founder of Onchain and founder of Ontology. Please welcome Li Jun.
Good afternoon, everyone, and very warm welcome to coming to Ontology event here for PreLaunch. For the Ontology project kickoff last year, we're also in America, in New York, and also in Silicon Valley to do that. And we're very well happy after half years, we have prepared for our version 1 Mainnet PreLaunch. And I want to quickly introduce what is Ontology is doing, and what we have done, and what kind of things we are doing, and what kind of things we will do in the future. The Ontology, the name, Chinese name is called 20. Maybe you can learn the next time you can introduce Ontology. Okay, Chinese name is 20. And I'm the founder of Ontology and co-founder of OnChain as well. First of all, I want to talk about a very small question before introduce Ontology. I just have a presentation in the Blockchain Connect, the main house. And the currently blockchain industry or technology is become mainstream or not? From my point of view, it's quite unfortunate. The answer maybe is not. Because when you review, you check your daily life and your business process, how many application, how many scenario is running dependent on blockchain? Almost zero. So that means we are very hot in digital assets areas. But if you want to become a mainstream name in technology or mainstream industry like internet today, you need impact or at least support more and more real scenario to do that. But blockchain infrastructure want to support a real business scenario is not so easy. Maybe you think it's easy. Okay, we can quickly support different real scenario be there. But when you want to do that, it's not so easy things. Actually, we are doing that, we find a lot of difficulty for that. So Ontology, what Ontology want to do? We want to do a new infrastructure that can integrate it, centralized service and decentralized service with a decentralized mechanism. That is blockchain new infrastructure. We want those kind of infrastructure can be a bridge linked to the real business world. You can use the platform to run in real business scenario on that, not only digital assets, also other digital scenario. So that is Ontology we want to do, link to the real world. So, but when you review the things, the public blockchain currently, they have a lot of successful current blockchain already. Like we have the currency, we have the smart contract. So the public blockchain already doing a lot of things right now. But a lot of challenges coming. When you want to support a real business scenario, you will find many issues or many challenges you are facing. Two of them, one is definitely everybody will think about is performance. How to support a real business scenario in large scope. Performance is quite big issues in currently facing. Another is actually more important than performance. It's different kind of real business scenario. They have specific requirements, not only decentralized application level. They need a very deep level. They need a very specific customization for the deep level. They have their governance modules. They need new consensus modules, even different policy, prevention policy. How to do the deeply customization for those kind of the requirements based on a single stable public blockchain. It's a challenge in next phase. So that is why we want to do the Ontology new platform to do that, to help for those kind of challenge. So Ontology in the infrastructure level, we are working for two directions. One is, of course, mentioned this performance issue. Another is different business requirements. So performance issues, we are designing new architecture is called chain network. We are not running one single public blockchain. In the version 1, we will be a single public blockchain. But in the future, we will be flexible in passing more and more public blockchain in there to become a chain network. The public blockchain can have the blockchain private public service like the identity, digital assets, and the smart contract. Also can have some specific application chains or business chains. They can focus on different areas, IoT or smart supply chain or the content or the others kind of different scenarios. They can base the different scenario, build their own business blockchain to support that, and use the protocols to work together, integrate different chains together to do that. The protocols, currently we are talking about the inter-chain protocols. Mostly is talking about the digital assets exchange. But in a real business scenario, maybe need different protocols to support different scenarios, like the identity mapping or data exchange, etc. So we need those kind of mechanism, protocol group, and the chain, public blockchain, and the multiple blockchains to build the chain network. So that is ontology infrastructure. If we have those kind of infrastructure or architectural design, is that good enough? Still not. The bridge is still not coming. That's only infrastructure. The bridge is another level in ontology introduce the public platform for distributed trust ecosystem. What is distributed trust ecosystem? There may multiple, several different common modules can support the real business scenario to link that. For example, the identity. You have distributed identity to link the real business scenario. Another, you need to have the data exchange and the reputation system and the contract and the signature service. All those can link to the real business scenario or real legal system in different areas. That means when you do the transaction in the blockchain, you also, if necessary, you also can be supported by the different legal system in the real business case. For example, we also talk about the example I just mentioned is tokenized everything. We can tokenize the table, become a token, and you can transfer the token to your friends. But when the friends want to get a table from you, you can reject that. Okay, I don't want to give you the table. I only give you the table token. So how to get help for the situation for your friends? They will not find the help from blockchain platform. They will find policy, find the lawyer, find the legal system in different countries, different areas. So when you want to tokenize everything, you have those kind of bridge can link to the real business, real legal system to support you for this part. So that's why ontology have two roadmap, two version roadmap. One is chain network, is new kind of infrastructure. Another is trust ecosystem. Those two need to work together, integrated together, as the platform can really support real business on blockchain. So that is ontology computing. And ontology version 1 will be launched by the end of this month. And ontology 1.0. In the ontology version 1, we will check the product architecture with three kind of product metrics. They have three levels. Ontology infrastructure includes ontology blockchains. Where blockchains, this means there will be multiple blockchains. In the initial phase, we will single one, but we will add more public blockchain here. Ontology blockchain framework is kind of open source framework. You can use the framework to build your own customized public blockchain with different consensus model, with different storage mechanism, even different peer-to-peer protocol. You can, based on your business requirement, design your own blockchain and use interaction protocols to work together with other blockchains, join ontology chain network to work together to support the real business scenario in large scope. And the second level is lots of different module supports, just I mentioned. That is bridge linked to the real world. The identity, OntID is a distributed identity framework. That is not an identity vendor. Is identity framework means you can link different data source or verification source from centralized source or decentralized source, from governments, company, university, or from community, from your friends, from your family. Everyone can be verification vendors to prove for ourselves. Build your own trust package, prove yourself in different business scenario. And those kind of trust package and framework not only used for people, also can use for objects, things, and content, the video, audio, picture, or content article, all can use those kind of identity to build the trust for different kinds of entities. That is OntID is doing. This module already included first version already included in the Ontology version 1. Will be launched by the end of this month. You can use Ontology identity to build your own trust package for that. And based on that, we have distributed data exchange protocols. Use the distributed data exchange protocols, you can easily build your own data exchange for different industries. For example, for financial data, or the medical data, or the other insurance data, you can build your data exchange. Use Ontology data exchange protocols. And you can easily got the runtime settlement, runtime data transfer. And Ontology skills is distributed reputation system. Currently, reputation, the credit score is very useful thing, but currently you have everyone just a few credit score. In China, in US is similar. But once you can connect your different data source, you can easily build different rating logic and generate different rating system, reputation system. And you can use different credit scores to prove yourself in different scenarios. And we have the basic infrastructure and protocol. You can put your logic, build your own reputation evaluation process and logic based on that. And in the version 1, we also have several common application based on that. On 2 is the integrated current application, have a mobile application. They can manage your digital assets, manage your identity, manage your data, and manage your different transaction and data exchange scenarios in one application easily. And TSE is Trust Search Engine. They will be launched in Q3. And Trust Search Engine is more like a Google search engine. You can search out people, surveys, and content information in Ontology network. The difference is you can easily to verify that the information is true or not, good or bad, automatically. So that means you can find the information, be a filter, trust filter to feed the trust information. DDX just the data exchange framework. You can build your own data exchange based on that. So that is Ontology version 1, the product metrics. And every quarter, we will have new information, new modules release. We will have a new version release. So that means we have every 3 months, we will have a new version. That is version 1 that we got by the end of this month.
We get 500.
Okay, we'll talk about the ecosystem. The trust mechanism, we will want to integrate different trust sources. Currently, blockchain trust sources from technology, based on technology. We want to integrate it from the real world, that means the centralized trust source, from legal system, from the governments, from university, from company. And also we want to integrate the trust from community, your social networking, and your friends, your family. Every people can be the trust source for others. We will integrate all those trust sources as in one decentralized platform. You can use that mechanism easily to build the trust package. That is Ontology want to support for different issues. I don't want to take too details about that, just the trust case. And for the ecosystem support, and everyone just mentioned, you are not only user for Ontology platform, you also service private Ontology. You can private different servers just by yourself to prove others, and also can be a developer to develop new application and to build your business scenario Ontology, and also you can be the service private. We're already talking to a lot of the service private. They were private verification service and other kind of security service Ontology to be an infrastructure for support your application, your business scenario easily. You needn't to care about the common modules. You can only focus on your business and your application, and also cover different industry products. And I don't want to take up a lot of the technical details, just to mention some design of architecture and highlight several points. One is, of course, chain network design. It's a new architecture for public blockchain. We will have multiple public blockchains and to private service. And also we can customize for our partners and specific business chain for different business scenario or industry, and to link together, to do the cooperation together to provide the integrated service. That is chain network architecture for that. And the governance models, we have a new governance models, consensus models, consensus model system. That will be can cover thousands nodes joining the consensus models. and they can get different network, different layer network, and to join the consensus models. We want to find the balance between decentralized and performance. There's no magic, no magic. You can want to get both. You don't want, okay, I have a very, very decentralized service and also have a very high performance. When you get something, you will lose something. Maybe people will tell you about their advantage, but not tell you about what kind of cost for this point. But we want to find balance. Currently, those kind of mechanisms can support thousands nodes joining the consensus mechanism, and the performance still keeps a high performance. I will mention about the performance testing in the first version. The new consensus mechanism called the BFT, they have integrated the POS, BRFT, and BFT port. And that is the one of first public blockchain have implemented, included the VRF functionality to the consensus model already. We have tested that in the testnet several months. And you can got open source, already open source. You can check the source code and check the design if you're interested in this part. The highlight is you can quickly get to the final stage and also with high performance, and also can support the large consensus node to join the whole consensus mechanism. And smart contracts, as Dar have mentioned, Neo and Ontology, we are building a new standard for smart contracts based on NeoVM. And we will support a lot of different language, mainstream language, to develop a smart contract based on that. We will provide very good IDE and the testing and the security tools to build the smart contract on the new standards. And we will enhance the VM to become very safe and very useful and very strong, very powerful virtual machine. Currently, already be proved virtual machine only EVM and EVM. So we have the confidence there will be very important the VM, the technology mechanism, and even standard in the futures. And talk about the performance. The performance testing not from our team, not from our lab. It's totally from the technical community. Just download the open source from GitHub. You can do that. You can repeat the testing by yourself as well in a very normal event hardware environment. And the TPS already more than 5,000. And those kind of modules still not include some enhanced mode module like the parallel execution, sharding, and chain network. Only single chain and BFT base is quite high performance. So since a lot of enhanced module will come in, so that is performance is just beginning. Next, the security auditing. We actually have currently already have the 3 company, the security audit company for us. And we also have the security team internally in-house. We have put a lot of money, efforts, engineering, and team for the equity. But equity never have 100% safe. But we have put lots of efforts for the security checking. And that will be a long-term strategy. We will continually put more efforts, more money, more team for the security auditing to let people to make sure you can have a safe environment to running your application, to running your digital assets, to running your scenario. That is what we are doing right now. And on 2, the version will be launched in early next month. They are integrated, just mentioned, you can manage your identity and manage your data. And of course, manage your digital asset. You can control and manage all the data source by yourself. Even you can create your own client, verifiable client, your main data and the information to manage it. Build your own trust, link different trust source or manage it by yourself. All the personal data, you can control the data, not in the blockchain. Still keep in the different source. You can control and protect that. But the data will not be managed by blockchain, by yourself, in different applications. SmartX is integrated IE to support to do the smart contract development You can easily to build your smart contract use different language like C#, Python, JavaScript. In the next phase is Go language, Java. Almost cover all the mainstream language. You needn't to learn specific language to design the smart contract. You can just use the language you are familiar with to doing the smart contract development. And we'll private the IDE and error check. Next phase, we will have a security check as well for your to help you the application development for smart contract. And the next phase, we also have a smart contract market functionality. We'll open that. You can build a smart contract as a module and sell the module, private the service for the other smart contract. You can in charge get a service fee from those kind of modules. So you can build a smart contract market in this kind of tools, smart apps. And Ontology GitHub, currently we already near 20 projects on Ontology GitHub. It's covered blockchain, SDK, and the hardware and FPGA. And if you are interested in all kinds of, you can join the GitHub and propose your proposal to doing that. For the technical community, they have several approach you can join us. One is propose your proposal. You design your new application or new module. Even you have a new suggestion for the current infrastructure enhancement, you can propose and doing that. And that is, we have a very good support for this part. Not only technical support, document support, and the real reward support. We will have the 100 million ONT just for technical community, 10% of ONT total. That is largest percentage in the public blockchain. So, and we welcome all the technical community to contribute to that. But to contribute for what? We will discuss later about that. What kind of things will welcome you to Ontology? So, partner, I will mention partner, of course, but I mentioned the core build partners from the most is from traditional, the virtual capital and the different technical service. Why we choose traditional virtual capital? Not only kind of financial investment, they will link their portfolio in different industry to blockchain industry, to blockchain platform. That is important. That's what we mentioned. We want to build the bridge to link or impact, support the real business scenario. We want those kind of portfolio to help them convert or private new decentralized service on the blockchain infrastructure platform. They believe in it. Now they have a service private. They will private the verification service and the different the security service and that. They will have more coming. Next month we will announce more globally. Finally, we will private globally the service. When you build an application or business scenarios, you needn't care about the basic service like the identity verification, KYC, AML, and all the metrics or the cloud computing security. You needn't care about all those things. You just focus on your business logic. And some of our partners, even the Mainnet have not been launched, already have many applications or even the sub-blockchain are building use Ontology framework. They will be launched with our Mainnet soon in next quarter or in this year. Currently, they are building for that. Next round, I have a lot of, they will introduce it one by one. That's all those things is linked to different real business scenarios. They are not only issue token. They are support many specific, interesting real scenarios. Maybe you also very interested for part. I don't want to touch details. Keep the other speaker to talk about that. Another important thing is OOA. It's kind of incubation called Olympus incubation. The incubation can support not only the technology. We support technology, business, community, marketing, capital, talents, human resource, even legal system. Why we support private so many service for them? That means we want to you only, just as I mentioned, only focusing on business logic. No matter you have a technical background, no matter you have money or not, if you are the professional, you are experts, you are talents in your industry, and you already think about the new business model as a decentralized service, you want to build that. You only focus as one. Ontology will support you for your all the rest things.
Okay.
That is always
I got an idea.
We got ideas too.
I got an idea.
Integration also includes the other two important parts. Is Ontology Global Capital. They will support Ontology ecosystem to help you to funding and help you to link to the other partners, ecosystem partners. The Ontology Advisor Group, we will have globally have the professional, the advisors in different industry. When you want to do running a business, they can give you very good advisement for advisor then to support you in different the service and different background. And the final topic is what kind of things we are welcoming on do Ontology. What can you do with Ontology? That's it. First is not just issue token. We don't welcome for that. If you just want to issue a token, you
Go to Syria.
choose Ontology. Yeah. Even we have those kind of functionalities, but we don't want to only do that. So what kind of things you want to do? Think about your own real experience from your different business industry. To think about how the new mechanism, decentralized mechanism, can convert or reform your current business logic, business model, business process. Then you will figure out many new things you want to do. We have listed many examples here, but we are not the professional in different industry. We just kind of example to help you to analyze what kind of things you want to use. Like the multiple source identity system for people, for objects, for content. You can build those kind of trust package to support the risk control for financial service or insurance service, and to build this kind of verification service. And as well, you can build your own distributed data exchange in different industry, in different country, and build your own data exchange. That's Ontology. And you also can build a decentralized financial service or insurance service Ontology. Just as I mentioned, if everyone has their trust package, that means risk control can be done by yourself. You find that will impact the currently financial process or financial service. Then you can build a new business model for financial service on decentralized service or blockchain infrastructure. Okay, and you can have the virtual content, the article, video, audio, and you can use the distributed content generation and trading system.
I
That's
have an idea for that Ontology.
and distributed cooperative system. Many business process actually is cross companies, cross organization, even cross countries. When they do those kind of cooperation, they need to build a lot of vertical IT systems to support that. That is high cost and inflexibility. If you wanted to be a flexible, the cooperation, the platform, the blockchain or decentralized platform is very good choice. So you can consider your currently business process in your industry to reform the business models and try to build your own the cooperation, the platform in the different the modules. And you will think more about this point in quantity. And of course, you can build your own Facebook, decentralized Facebook. The Facebook difference is you can easily figure out verify your friends, your community member easily. The background check and a lot of things, reputation system building, and you can build the community on the Ontology as well. And the reputation, as you mentioned, the reputation and the rating system. You can based on your knowledge, based on your industry, to design different rating logic running Ontology. You can have your own rating scores to support in different scenarios. People will trust your logic and willing to use the logic in different business. That's fine, you can build that. All those is just an example. Just as I mentioned, we are not experts in different industries. We just want you to rethink your current business industry, how to reform, how to help, how to cut the cost, how to improvement the process. You can consider that. So that means we want to build an application to support the real business scenario of Ontology. We will configure that. And even if your business become a large-scale business, we also will support you, welcome you to build your own public blockchain in Ontology network. And I want to repeat the word we have talked about in our last year in Ontology kickoff meeting. It's in our imagination in the future. We'll have the new words. A lot of platform, decentralized platform like Ontology will be built all over the world. And all those kind of platform will link or interact each other, build a new trust world on the decentralized service. In that trust world, we still have the search engine, still have the social networking. The difference is what kind of things or information, data, service you search out. You can easily verify what is good, what is bad, what is true, what is not. And everyone, even an individual, you have a tool can control and protect, manage your data by yourself. That is a trust layer. So that is our well version, and welcome more and more blockchain project to join us to build the new world. So finally, welcome to Ontology World, the world for trust. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Legion. We're excited to see the mainnet go live in 5 days' time.
5 days.
So next up, we have advisor of DAD, Brian Lee. Please welcome him.
Right. Hello, everyone. Before I introduce my project, let me introduce myself first. So the picture actually is my son. I think he's more handsome and more cute than me, so I put this picture there. And my name is Brian Lee. I'm the advisor of the project DAD. And DAD, I will introduce it later. I'm the founder partner of Knock Ventures. Knock Ventures is a crypto fund. And we also have another company named Knock Consulting. Knock Consulting is help our portfolios or ICOs to make the advisory services in Asia area and in the US. And this is some of our portfolios over there. So what is DAD? DAD is a decentralized advertising blockchain, actually. It's an advertising protocol, and it also is a project on ONT public chain in the future. And also, DAD is a strategic partner with ONT and NEO. So why do we use the blockchain in the advertising industry? Right now we have 3 major problems in the advertising. First one is fraud traffic, ad fraud. Another one is data privacy, and the third one is a GDPR problem. So in the advertising industry, it will cost around $16.4 billion per year in the ad fraud, actually. It's around 20% in total. The data is from AdLooks in 2017. And three major problems. The first one is fake views and the fake click, and also some fake media in the market. Another problem is about the attribution problem. They will try to, put the organic users or the organic installs into the paid users. So this is exactly a real example from my friend. They have all the database in China about the vehicle owners, about the real estate owners. They can buy the data from the bank. They can buy the data from the telco, from all the centralized platform or partners over there. So the data privacy is a quite big problem in current world, especially in the developing countries right now. So in EU, actually, they released a new regulation, is GDPR. But actually, the GDPR cannot really solve the real problem. If if the user, they don't really want to share their data with the platform, such as Google, Facebook, or Twitter, Actually, the advertisers, they cannot really target the right users over there, so they don't really want to spend the budget. It means the platform like Google or Facebook or Twitter, they cannot even deliver the free service for our users in the future. We believe there's another solution over there. This is DAD. We utilize the blockchain in the middle, and we can, ask the users to upload their data to the platform, and we can give the rewards as the tokens to them as a benefit. And the advertisers actually they can target the right users, and they can get the total transparent, precise, like which media you already target, and which users you already target, something like that. So what the DAD do? Actually, they have the 3 different solutions. The first one is the powerful anti-cheat mechanism. It's totally try to target the ad fraud problem. And another one is the digital identity and authorization solution. This is actually for the second one, for the data privacy issue. The third one is the token economy. We try to share the benefit between the users and advertisers in the platform. So why DAD? This is another problem. DAD actually, they already have the business model and they already have the users over globally. They have their own SDK and API. The SDK has been embedded into thousands of applications globally, such as the news application, the tooling application, and others. They are running over 110,000 advertisements right now online, and they already have the user base over 500 million. And here is the team. Actually, Steven should be the one to give the speech here, but he didn't really get the visa to US, so I have to replace it. Steven is from the advertising industry, and I was working in the multimedia, and Yamobi is a quite famous advertising platform globally. And another guy is Barak. He's also from the advertising industry. He was in Glispa. It's another famous advertising company in Europe. And such as Michael, he was working in Ring. It's a famous company as well.
Go back to the sketch mode on me.
And here's investors and advisors team. Feng Bo is boss of the Ceyuan Ventures, and also the Tao Feng. He's also the boss of a very famous top fund in China. Like Kai Fu Xu and Ding Jie is the founder of another famous crypto fund in China, FVC. And also we have the strategic partnership with ONT and NAIL. So if you want to know more about the DAD, you can go to the website. There's a link over there. And actually, this is the start of the project. We will try to make the fundraising in the coming few months. And if you can get more information, like the white paper in the website. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brian. So next up we have CarBlock. Please welcome Chief Partnership Officer Ivan Shaw.
Sketch mode looks dope.
Hi, I'm Ivan Shaw, Chief Partnership Officer of CarBlock. We're the leading blockchain project around building a decentralized marketplace for car data. Currently, the car data market is driven by new car sales, with a little bit of revenue coming from the aftermarket accessories. But over the next 12 years until 2030, we expect the market to grow for car data-enabled services to $750 billion. Right now, the number is minuscule compared to this. So the question we get a lot is, why isn't this being exploited more today by the people that have the car data? Is it because they're not collecting it? Well, that's not true at all. So basically, all automotive companies are collecting this data today. The most successful of which is GM OnStar, which has been doing this since 1996, so they've been doing it for over 20 years. But every other car company out there has been collecting this car data. So you have companies like navigation companies, in-vehicle infotainment companies, connected car platforms, all collecting this data. And they're collecting an enormous amount of data around car driver behavior, location data, and car vehicle health. But they haven't really been able to monetize it up to this point. So an example is GM, who's the most successful one out there. They've got over 12 million users, but even now, only about significantly less than 1% of the revenue is being generated from this car data today. And even so, there have been people out there that have been able to build companies around car data and successfully exit and make a lot of money off of it. Companies such as Waze, which is focused on mapping, they were acquired by Google. You have companies such as Metromile, which is based on usage-based insurance, which is a very hot topic right now, as well as Carfax, which is based on car vehicle history, also acquired by another company. All had billion-dollar valuations and exits. And the question is, why aren't more companies jumping into this? There's a couple different reasons, but the first one really is that the vast majority of data that's being utilized today is desensitized and anonymized data because of privacy issues specifically. So, the vast majority of the value of the data isn't in this anonymized data, it's really in the user-specific data. And, because of this, you can think of it as kind of like how internet advertising works. If you have an ad that's a display-based ad that you put on any kind of website out there, the value is very little. Whereas if you have an ad that is targeted by Facebook or Google, the ROI and the value of the ad itself is extremely high. And we see that happening in the car data market as well. So, an example of how people are using this kind of low-value anonymized data today is this transportation report that came from a leading mapping company in China, where they were able to match up certain type of car drivers with location data. And they were able to find out, hey, Mercedes drivers tend to be at airports and high-end hotels, whereas Cadillac drivers tend to be at spas and entertainment centers, which is interesting for user profiling, but when it comes to building applications on top of that and advertising, it's very low value. So this anonymized data is interesting data, not really valuable data from that standpoint. And what's really preventing this from being used is privacy and data ownership issues that you see out there. This chart right here kind of shows you what consumers think about who should hold their data. In this case, comparing what users think if they would prefer to have car manufacturers hold their data or mobile phone manufacturers hold their data. And in Germany and US, you could see it actually combines less than half the people actually want any of these people to hold their data. And that's really because first off, in Europe, there's been a lot of regulations around that, making it illegal for a lot of companies to use even anonymized data. But also in the US, we've got constant news coming out of data being misused, data being stolen, things like the election being influenced by that. It's all stuff that's really impacted how people view how their data is being used by different companies out there. China, it's not as much of an issue so far, but I expect there'll be some kind of tipping point event and things happening that are similar over there that'll cause this to change over time as well. So this is the current approach for car data that's been used in the market for quite a long time now. It has the car manufacturer sitting in the middle, and in this case, they would take data that you've generated from a car that you probably purchased from them for thousands of dollars, and they would take that data and sell it to service providers and anyone else that wants data out there. And that's not really effective in the long term because first off, it's turning into a legal issue. It's law in some places, but also the other issue is that as a user, you're not incentivized to contribute to that. You have no way of controlling who's going to buy that data from the car manufacturers, and you have no way of saying, no, I don't want you to buy it, and you're not actually getting anything out of it. So that's why we launched CarBlock. So our real focus is to put this back into the hands of the users. So we solve the issue from both sides. We enable users to have full control of their data and who they share the data with. So if you want a discount off your car insurance, you have control of your data. You could share it with MetLife or Geico or something like that. But if you don't, let's say you're a poor driver, go ahead and just block it from them. Tell them you don't have it. So you get control of the data yourself, but in parallel, we incentivize you to share the data because you get some kind of earnings off that, but you'll get better products and services behind it. And in parallel, we're also working with service providers and other companies to gain access to this data, something they can't achieve right now. An example is you have Continental out there, which is one of the largest car parts suppliers out there, and they wanted access to different engine codes that different car companies had, and that's all proprietary. So every single car company has their own set of engine codes that they don't share with anyone else. They don't tell people how to use them, even in a car that you buy yourself. So Continental actually had to go to court, and they sued all these different car companies and got access to it. But we're still in the same situation where one company controls all the data, and you as a user still have no idea who has it and who gets access to it. So we've developed this decentralized marketplace for the automotive industry with the user in the middle. So everything circles around what the users and the data that they generate, and for access to that, all the different people part of the ecosystem have to go to the users individually. Well, we'll definitely have ways to help make that easier, but and ask the user if they're willing to share this data and how they want to, let them know how they want to use it. And because of this thing that we're developing, even the car manufacturers know this is a gap that actually helps them. Again, I use GM as an example because they've got 12 million users. They're one of the most successful out there. But when you think about GM as a company, they've got over 100 million cars on the road. And they were previously collecting data from all these cars, but they stopped collecting from the 88 million people that weren't a non-Star subscriber because they had consumer backlash. Consumers said, hey, you can't collect this data from me, even if you anonymize it, we don't want you to do it. So right now, GM actually took a step back and said, we're only gonna collect from our current OnStar subscribers to give them value. So even GM is only collecting data from 1/8 of their cars. And GM is the most successful one, has data from 12 million vehicles out of 1 billion vehicles on the road. So there's a big fragmentation problem that we're trying to solve as well. So as a company, CarBlock is now working with a large number of car manufacturers and other car accessories and companies like that through the Mobi initiative. We're the only blockchain project working with them as a partner, giving us access and negotiating power with them as an equal partner. No other blockchain project has this. In addition, this is Nanda's rapidly growing user base. Nanda is the market leader in aftermarket connected car devices. And they're one of the partners with CarBlock and an Anchor data collection provider for us. We've already integrated some CarBlock functionality into their award-winning Zeus smart driving assistant app. And through them, we have a global presence with products in thousands of retail stores such as Walmart, Target, Sam's Club, Best Buy, reaching millions of consumers on a day-to-day basis. Something that no other blockchain project has out there, actually. And this is really one of the first real-world applications for blockchain out there. This is our current progress with suppliers and consumers of data. And we're working on adding more and more partners to this ecosystem, and we expect to have updates towards the end of the year with some examples about how the data is actually being used. But the way to think about one of the steps to this is you drive a car, and Nanda's devices out there, they can tell you exactly when you need an oil change, and they can drive you to go to the nearest Walmart to go get your oil changed or get your tires changed. Yeah. So that would be some of the potential applications that we'd be looking at on the car servicing side. So a lot of real-world applications when it comes to car data, and by providing privacy and control of the data to the users, we're able to monetize it in a way that no other company has been able to. To date, we've raised over $15 million from a lot of top investors, both in blockchain and also with different tech-focused investors as well. And the reason why we're here today is we're very excited to partner with Ontology for marketing on community development, as well as on the technical side to discuss how we can integrate our products together. And that's it.
Yes, okay. So up next we have Operation Director for Contentus, Sinyuan Wang.
Hello, everybody. I am the operational director of LiveMe, actually, not Contentos, but we are the closest and currently the biggest strategic partner of Contentos. So I'm excited to get here to join the event of the Mainnet pre-launch of Ontology, and I want to share you something to help you understand of what Contentos is doing. But first, let me show you something. Please cue that video.
My name is Devon, and I'm a content creator of Cheese. I haven't had any managers or had any experience with NCN simply because I don't trust people, because I see how my friends, my content creator friends, have been mistreated or wronged or had their money taken from them when they didn't need to. What I have had experience with is different applications wanting us to promote their apps or use them and put our content on them, but they'll pay us different rates based off of our following instead of the quality of our content. And I don't think that's fair. It's like an actor being paid less than they're deserving because they're not as famous as someone else, but their acting skills are so much better. It's an injustice, and it's an injustice for content creators to be treated this way as well. Contentos can help with that.
Okay, that man up there, his name is Devon. He's like one of those so-called ordinary creators, influencers. He has got like somewhere between 15 to 20,000 of followers on Instagram, which is not a lame number, but it's not big also. So sometimes these ordinary creators, they are, get inspiration and do high quality viral videos, but still paid less, relatively less than so-called big names, big influencers. And in contrary, those big influencers, the brands paying them to get them on board, a very heavy budget, but sometimes the conversion is not that good. So I'm sorry this slide just to come out a little bit earlier, but that's what I'm going to say in the next. That's what these content creators, the influencers, can help us to do. Why people in this room should care about those people, their pain points. Because we are, as Mr. Li Jun just said, we are not mainstream enough for now. We need to build that bridge from the hardcore cryptocurrency world, the blockchain world, to the outside world. And the content creators, the influencers, they are going to help us to do that. They are like to explain concepts like what is a wallet, what is a exchange to common people. People like outside the world who is not care that much about the technology part of the blockchain. They still like to be entertained. They like to watch content, sometimes created by the influencers over there. So these people are helpful to do all these kind of how-tos and tutorials to normal people and use the language they can understand and they want to hear about. So Contentos is like want to build a content creation and distribution ecosystem based on blockchain distributed technology. That's what it does. And what it solves, like several pain points, like I said, like Devon said in the video, that like value distribution. Before, in the traditional way of doing content creation, influencers get the payment through centralized institutions like YouTube or Instagram or MCNs agencies, and they are exploited in a way. And all these centralization can do something, at the same time they can do something really good, but they are doing things on their own benefits. So like somewhere 6 months ago from this time, like YouTube is introducing a new policy of monetization. They just merely stop all the monetization way for smaller influencers who count on that revenue share. And people complained a lot, and the policy just changed anyway. And somewhere before that, Apple, as you may know, decided to take a 30% cut from every payment happening in their ecosystem. Another thing that hurts those influencers in a way, who earn a living based on fans rewarding economy. But again, they cannot do anything to stop that happening. By introducing a decentralized way of doing the content and attract people's attention in reward of money, we can stop that from happening. Not any other incidents can happen like that. And the other pain point I want to share here is like trust building between different content creators. Video creators, they do collabs all the time, and they are in constant needs for music, for background music that is suitable for create a fancy, funny video. But the musicians, when things comes to music industry, as you can understand, it's always time consuming and it's very complex. Between musicians and all the normal, ordinary influencers, there are multiple layers of brokers, of lawyers, NCNs, agencies, and labels. So if you choose to bypass all these intermediate layers, you will put yourself in a situation that you take all kinds of risks. You cannot trust people you don't know. By introducing smart contracts between, smart contracts can be put into use for multiple ways of uses, but the most right one between creators, a musician, and a video creator can very easily reach an agreement and to share the profit automatically done by those smart contracts. And there are many more pain points, and you can, without saying that intellectual property protection is one of them. And for that, I think people in this room are already very familiar with what Ontology is doing, the distributed identity management frameworks. So I will leave that to Mr. Li Jun, and I think all the influencers we are contracted with are thankful or grateful for that invention. So enough talking for pains. Let's talk for something happy. That's what the name of contentos means in Spanish as happiness. And building a mainnet is something really time-consuming and energy-consuming, and you need to do it for a very long time frame. But at the same time, we can start to build implementations into apps every ordinary users are using daily, and we have already signed contracts to deal with. Like at the left, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it's like our daily task system. It's a what we call natural production consumption model we built into the apps we have, like Me and Cheese. People can check in there every day and do tasks, multiple tasks, to get rewards on COS, our utility token we get from Contentos. And those tasks including from just merely watch several videos to you create some high quality videos with multiple likes. And when people get COS from things like this, they can put them into good uses. Uses like in the right-hand side, there is a privilege buying. You can buy a small prawn on your profile picture. With that, you get the privilege to post videos as long as 1 minute. Well, everybody is posting like 17 seconds videos. So for a limited time, of course. And like in our in-app game, there is an in-app game called Dance Off. It's basically like a limb syncing kind of game, and people can play with it while recording yourself dancing and share it on the platform with the community. And the other people, they are all doing that dance with their body and nothing else, just to move around your limbs. And if you purchase some feature in this with COS, you can see there are special effects like fire or frozen pieces of snowflakes moving with your hands. It's super fancy to a lot of young users, and it makes your video more attractive to get more viewership, and you can get more likes to get COS back in those daily tasks. And on the right is the most beloved feature we have now in our community, video creating community. It is called rewarding direct messages. Like, there's always a need in the entertainment industry for fans to get contact, to get intimate, like, connection with the influencer you like. But there is only such, limited time, limited hours in the day for influencers to interact with their fans. So what we do is, like, we see that asymmetric pattern between supply and demand of those influencers' time. We put a, let's say, free market solution into it. That means those influencers can put a price tag on their direct messages. And anyone who wants to talk to them should pay COS equal to or greater than the amount of COS there, so it can deliver your message to that person. And for the influencer, if you want to get that pot of COS coins to your pocket, you need to reply to that message. So that makes actual interaction done by the influencer who the fans loves, and makes some profit for the influencer at the same time, and it moves those tokens from one people to another. So it's like if the message is left unattained, not replied for an amount of time, it just goes back to the original person. So you don't need to waste it if the influencer is not replying you. And this only works for one direction following relationship. Like if you and your friend are following each other, you don't need to pay anything to chat on our app. So even this feature is just launched a very short period of time. We see from data that people love it. Like among all people, all daily active users, we got 10% of them to actually use the features, get COS coins, and among them, like about one third put them into these uses. And we are developing, in real world users implements features like this. And there is like HQ trivia like quizzy shows we've done in LiveMe, and over 8 to 10% viewership of Taiwan and US version we have done in these two areas have watched and participate into that quizzy show and earn COS and by answering those blockchain technology-based some easy questions. Okay, so we are trying to work with Contentos, with other content apps to start to build a real use world of blockchain technology. And we are starting from here, like 60 million daily monthly users, to like the other big potential partner of Cheetah Mobile, who has like 600 million plus MAUs. So we are trying to leverage them all into this blockchain world by the real influencers, their daily creative works. So that's it. And
themselves to one chain, reach out to multiple chains, because as we heard in the Ontology talk, that several scenarios will require different chains, which is customized to different regulations, different business scenarios, and so on. They are focusing a lot on the intelligent hardware, which we also know as IoT, devices, entities, machine-to-machine communication. So I hope that explained this sentence quite well. COT, they deliver two kind of products. The one is the platform itself, and the other part is that they actually configure the hardware and they deliver the hardware. So it's like a full service where you can get the hardware, you can get it configured, and you can make it connect into the blockchain platform. So why is it important to connect the blockchain world with intelligent hardware? When we try to look at it, the businesses, the organizations, and enterprises, they are a bit reluctant to really go into exploring the blockchain and the IoT combined together, because there is still some pain points involved in this. And this is really what COT they're trying to solve. So they have like 5 aspects which they identified. And the first one is identification. So when we are operating in this network, we have several nodes, and we want to make sure that we identify the right nodes and there's no malicious activities or any illegal entrance into the network. The second one is extensive collaboration. So again, a bit to the multi-chain idea, that we want to have some platform which can reach out to different systems, maybe out to legacy systems and data silos, and then combine them together in a platform where they can collaborate. Third one is privacy protection. So they deliver strictly encryption, which will make sure that we can keep our privacy, even though we have it in a more distributed system. And the fourth one is certified and traceable. So that's one of the basic promises of blockchain. We are starting to build confidence in this technology that it is traceable. For instance, we've seen how Bitcoin has been able to keep the ledger with a single sequence of transaction. And likewise, we'll see it in other chains, that we can trace everything down to the Genesis block, and it's fully traceable and immutable. The fifth one is data validation. I would also say that's kind of one of the basic promises of blockchain. So it's mainly because we're dealing with deterministic data, and we're able to validate it in the chain network by that. So these 5 pain points, they lead on to some of the scenarios that we have to deal with, and why there's a need for a platform. It's because when people, entities, devices, machines, and this whole IoT network, they will have to interact with each other, they will have to trade with each other, and they will have to transfer data across. There's a need for a platform who solve the 5 aspects that we just talked about. So what they're really delivering here is a system which is trying to solve some of these inefficiencies that we find in a very, how to say, like a centralized system that will exist today. Okay, so the combination of these hardware systems and the blockchain. If we talk from it from a business perspective, this is really about creating a high level of transparency. It's also about achieving a high level of automation and streamline some processes, and also try to look into some of all the intermediaries which is functioning in our current system, and try to see how we can minimize them and then eventually save costs. So the platform that COT they're developing is in cooperation with Ontology, and they will function both as a provider into the Ontology system, but Ontology and COT, they will also co-develop some protocols which is very much focused on intelligent hardware. Okay, the development directions of COT is kind of focused on 2 aspects here. And the first one is about being able to reach out to multiple chains. Because if you have to develop some solution on a single chain, you will reach some scenarios where we are not able to customize to that low level, which is necessary to comply with regulations or to comply with different system syntaxes. The second one is the different performance scenarios. So we have different systems which will require different performance. And it's not feasible to connect them into one system where we have the same level of performance. They want to allow different performance levels because it will eventually also reflect the cost and the hardware requirements. About the development directions, it's also split into two. They have the universal platform, which we talked about, and then they also have the hardware and the configuration of the hardware itself. So these two solutions can both be for decentralized applications, which is very much focused and rely on the IoT business, but they also have a more customized approach, which will go out to different business scenarios. So let's say that we have some insurance company who want to build based on a scenario where they have to track some assets, which is carrying some IoT sensors. It could be some heavy machinery, which will send some shockwave measuring and some humidity or GPS locations. They will be able to customize it particular to that business scenario. Okay, a final note about the team. So the COT team is very tech savvy, and they have engineers which is ranging from configuring the IoT devices itself, but also blockchain experts and software engineers which have been dealing with these scenarios within different industries. And along with that, they have business professionals which have been involved in various industries. So COT and Ontology, they are partnering, and the partnership consists of two things. The first thing is that COT, they will be a part of the Trust ecosystem, and they will be able to deliver these IoT services to the other participants in our Trust ecosystem. And the other part of the collaboration is minded on COT and Ontology together developing a protocol which is very much focused on the IoT world. So thank you. That's all for COT. And our next session will be the media FAQ. So I would like to invite Da Hong Fei up again and Li Jun.
This is what you guys want to watch, boys. This is why we stay. This is why we stay. Because of this. Hopefully we're getting some ontology.
Any question? Is there any question? No? No, we got one here.
Back on kind of your strategy for the different blockchain protocols. So how am I going to make this blockchain talk to this blockchain?
Okay, actually, it's a lot of topic about the interchain protocols, but most interchain protocols is more focused on digital assets exchange right now. But just the protocol, different blockchains like different contracts, they need to have a different contract to work together, depend on different scenario. For example, why we have a multiple blockchain protocols. For example, sometimes you just needing the identity mapping or account mapping is enough. Maybe in the blockchain and non-blockchain, you need mapping. Okay, those data, for example, the car data, and the other financial data is belong to same person or same one insurance information. You can do the identity mapping through the distributed identity framework. And Another level, maybe you have a distributed data exchange, and also include, of course, digital assets exchange as well. So that is different interchain protocols. And more the infrastructure level, sometimes you need the consensus level to integrate it. Means a different consensus node in the mainnet or different blockchain also can be the consensus node for the other business blockchain, sub-blockchain. That is have different solution for this part. In our solution, one solution is some consensus node group can be support different multiple chain. Another is kind of like the project Polkadot right now doing is relay chain to support to the transfer the consensus module mechanism cross chain. So the ontology will include those kind of multiple protocols. Some protocols developed or designed by ourselves. Some protocols is from the other projects. We want to integrate those protocols, give the option for different business blockchains. They can choose different protocols to do the interaction for this part. Yeah.
Answer your question.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thanks for the great talk. So we actually are partnered with NGC, so thank you for your support. I'm kind of wondering, for the two projects between Neo and Ontology, are there any plans besides the cross-chain communications to actually integrate the two chains? Since Ontology is a multi-chain project, is there any plans to kind of merge the two in the future, or will they remain separate indefinitely?
Of course.
We don't have a plan to merge it, but currently you can. If you we set up a joint workforce, so to unify the standard of smart contract. So if you know how to do smart contract on Neo, you definitely will know how to do it on Ontology. So we will share the same ecosystem, developers ecosystem. Yeah.
Quick question on the same relationship. You mentioned that Ontology will do public blockchain as well. Will this mean that by any chance Ontology will compete with Neo?
Ontology and Neo are focusing on different directions. Neo will be used as a platform to do token sale, to do decentralized exchange, and we are also aiming at the gaming market. And Ontology is more focused on identity and all the trusted data that is linked to the identity and the data exchange. So just as Li Jun just said, Ontology is not a platform to just issue tokens. It's more about doing migrating existing business onto Ontology network. So they're moving into different direction and are aiming at solving different problems.
So speaking of the smart contracts you were talking about, so are there going to be just Neo smart contracts and Ontology smart contracts, or will it just be one smart contract, group that is used interoperable on both platforms?
I think naming is a tricky thing. You can call it Neo smart contract or call it Ontology smart contract, or maybe you call it a unified smart contract or universal smart contract. So the smart contract standard will remain the same. The interface will remain the same. So the naming is open to discuss.
So to expand on that, could you see other blockchains adopting this smart contract universal?
Definitely. There are other public blockchains are using or plan to use Neo VM or Ontology VM.
What I like to call the Neo Ontology takeover.
Yeah, actually already have several projects to use our the smart contracts mechanism and the VM this part. But that is standard. That means have a different implementation. Like Ontology is implemented in Go language and Neo in C#. And also you can do it there's a C++ or the other language to implement those kind of standards. And the way we are supported is design and standardized, and also security service for this part.
Thank you.
There's one VM developed by new community. They write it in C, and they don't even call it new VM. They call it Hyper VM.
Hyper VM, huh? Interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up. Thank you.
I'm not sure if this is the right question to ask, but eventually Neo is going to have a new ID and Ontology have the on ID. How these two ID can work eventually be the same thing, or it will be a two different ID? Can they like cross-platform communicate to each other?
Ontology ID actually is not an ID service. It's an ID framework. That means different ID, including Neo ID, or Open ID, or Facebook ID, or Microsoft ID, can be listed their service under the framework. That means different IDs is in the different different account system, in different scope or different ecosystem. Those ID all can be one of service linked together Ontology identity framework. That can mapping. That is the relationship. Neo's ecosystem still can have the Neo ID to cover the ecosystem, like token issue or gaming or the other application. But they can link the identity through the Ontology identity framework with other identity system or account system that can mapping the data together. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a more question?
Will the Neo Exchange support Ontology tokens? Next.
Next. That's the question to Next. That's not to us.
Okay.
Yeah, Next is an independent project. Yeah, we can't answer for the.
Okay.
Last one.
Okay, so I've worked for Walmart. I work for Tyson Foods now, and just right there in our part of the world, we've got JB Hunt, Walmart, Tyson Foods. All three are still just kind of hacking around with Hyperledger. So what's kind of the plan to I guess make inroads, into the United States market and sell United States companies on Ontology and help them understand the benefits of using that versus some of these older blockchain platforms?
I think this real example is more powerful things to show the capability. So Ontology is currently focused on exporting, especially in different industry. We want to build some real business case as example Ontology in different industry. And the other company, no matter where they come from, which country come from, they show the example and figure out the benefits for the example. They're easily to convert or private the decentralized service. And beside that, since our open source platform, we're also willing to support to work together with different industry to build the modules specific requires meet the requirements from the industries. For example, the supply chain or the other different kind of the industry will build a specific module for those kind of industry, help them to convert or supply the decentralized service based on the module. This is our ways. We want to focus on infrastructure. Of course, we have we have built a team in US to engage the large company and important partner to work together, build the production and the new infrastructure for different industry. That's right.
Okay. One more question. Okay. Let me add a few sentences. I think making U.S. enterprises to adopt a Chinese-initiated a project that is initiated from China, it's not easy. The only way to do that is we do everything much better, and Neo is doing quite well. There are many European-based companies. There are some US-based communities are using Neo because they realize that NEO is a better technology than many other competing blockchains. And the same thing, I think the same thing will be, we will do the same thing with Ontology. Yeah, we will prove that Ontology has better technology. Yeah, thank you.
First question I want to final is my own point of view. Maybe not suitable to talk about, but I still want to highlight. You want to review today's internet industry and review the top 20 the internet-based company. Almost all is from China and the United States. That means those two big markets have enough talents pool and the market business scenario. I guess because blockchain also is kind of platform-based industry, I guess still also the long-term competition, we're still in the US market and the China market, US team and China team. And of course, there's two important markets in the global world. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all today. And,
Thank you.
Hello.
In on them, they're going to be getting.
Next time I'm like, get it on. Back to the bit purist.
Time.
Things that constantly run into each other.
Time to go shake hands. Definitely. What about what wallet? Oh. I need to go find Crypto Zombie to give him his stand back. Good presentation. I stay for the tech. Whoa. See, even Crypto Zombie and the other YouTuber left. I stay the whole time. I sit through the boringness because the end. That's what I wanted to find out, was regarding the smart contracts. NEO just told us already blockchains are adopting the universal NEO smart contract language. Oh, baby. Big news. Big news. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to take off. I'm going to go outside and smoke a bowl. Thank you guys for watching the Ontology presentation. Definitely dope. Love y'all.